Hey everybody, welcome to Full Art Fantasy. I'm Kay,
I'm G.
and we are here today going to be opening up a pack, booster box of Gundam Dual Impact.
This is a request from Plawforge. We hope we said your name right.
So I'm assuming I haven't had a chance to look and see if you have any videos up on your channel, but it looks like based on your name, I'm assuming you build Gunpla model kits. So if you have any model kits, post some pictures. We don't have an email or anything set up yet, but if we do, we'll let you know. But we definitely would like to see some of your kits. I'm assuming that you have built. So, just starting to look at the set. So it looks like Gundam Barbados and First Form LR++, and the GQX Omega Psycom LR++ as well are the chase cards people are looking for. I definitely want that Gundam Epion LR+. As people know, I have been chasing a lot of Gundam Wing stuff, so I would appreciate tracking one of those down, or even the Tall Geese R+ that is in the set. But that is enough random chit chat right now. Let's go ahead and crack into this pack, and let's see what kind of pulls we can get. I really need to carry a small mic with me.
I'm not as big as in the Gundam as K is, but the art on these cards is pretty awesome. Bandai always does well with the art, whether it be this or Universes.
Bandai, the new Union Arena.
That's what it is. Sorry, guys.
And One Piece and Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah,
So
forgot about Dragon Ball.
yeah, I haven't played it in a while. I used to play it back when it very first came out. So.
I think I have some open packs if we ever wanna.
So, but as you guys can see, then we definitely do listen. I should say read the comments. So if there's ever a set you want us to try and track down, get our hands on to open, let us know. More than willing to try and track stuff down. Can't always guarantee that it'd be a full box, but more than happy to try and track down single packs if we can, whatever the case may be. We might eventually set up sort of a PO box or something down the road as we get a little bit more established. So if you guys ever have anything, once we get that set up, if you guys ever want to send us packs to open on stream, on a video, we're more than happy to open them and either send them back to you, or if you're just sending them in as a gift or whatever the case may be, whatever that case is. All right, let's get a little bit up here and make sure our camera's focused. Sorry. So our first one off is the Cell Galette, Sleipnir, Undying Persistence, Ulba Frost, Abdul's Maganak, and let me know, G, if this ever goes out of focus so I can slow down, and Gundam Airmaster Fighter Mode, Sila's Light Type Gun Cannon. So I haven't watched the new GQX series, but soon. But from what my understanding of, it's just them doing a retelling of the original Mobile Suit Gundam. So if you've never watched Gundam and kind of want to experience the start of the story, I've heard people recommend checking it out. Gundam Airmaster, I've also heard some people do not like it. But you're not going to appease everybody all the time. Our first rare is a Gundam Mark II Titans. Our second rare here is a Gundam Ashtron.
That's pretty sweet.
And our resource card at the back. I did recently find out that resources do have various rarities as well. So we'll keep an eye out for those as we see them.
That's good to know.
Yes. Was not aware of that when I opened my first box of new type Rising. So good to know in the future. Mostly didn't know because, like I said, I am more or less collecting these sets more than I am playing. It just, for the simple fact is there's not, one, I don't have a whole lot of time to always go when I should say I have the time. It's just more when there's events happening, I'm either working or not available due to other obligations. So, but I am a big fan of Gundam. So I just wanted to kind of get into it for the collection aspect of it.
Pack 2, here we go.
All right. Comrades come first.
There we go.
Nemo. Galeos Schwalbreys. I am murdering that. I am sorry.
That art is sick.
Undying Persistence again. Gabaldi Beta. Police Zaku Armored RRU type. The Gin Long Range Reconnaissance type. Amida's Kakrin. Turning Point of History. We got our buddy Shar Aznable there. Dominion. Our first rare is All Range Attack with what looks like the Quibbly. I'm not sure if that's the one Haman Kar piloted or if that's from the Mark II. I think that's the Mark I. Our second rare is Forbidden Gundam. And our resource is from GQ. Yeah, the GQX Gundam. So, all right, that is pack 2. Have you watched any Gundam at all, or are you still fairly unfamiliar with anything Gundam?
I'm pretty unfamiliar. I've seen like clips here and there, but I never watched like a full episode or anything.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, there's the GQX that just came out. I think it's on Prime, actually.
Okay.
It's kind of, I haven't had a chance to watch it. Or anything I've seen or heard about it, it looks like it's just kind of a retelling of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Okay.
So redesigned mobile suits and all things of that nature. But
is there a classic series I should be diving into?
If you want to get into that, so if you're going to start with like the original Mobile Suit Gundam, you're going to do like Mobile Suit Gundam into Zeta Gundam, into Double Zeta Gundam, into like Char's Counterattack, and then like Unicorn Gundam, I believe is the timeline. So that stuff all takes place in what they call Universal Century. And it kind of follows like one story.
Okay.
From start to finish, and follows stuff with like Armor Array, Char Aznable. The main characters change from set to set. So like Zeta is Camille, if I remember right. It's been a hot minute. And Double Zeta is, I think Double Zeta might still follow Camille. It's been a hot minute.
Okay.
People can correct me in the comments. I will not pretend to remember everything.
Digging this art.
First rare is Gundam Aerial Rebuild. And our first LR from the set is a Gundam X. This little texture foil. And I noticed it didn't stick. And our EX base. I noticed the LRs in New Type Rising, at least the packs I was opening, for some reason, they'd always kind of stick to the card in front of them.
So it must be that texture.
It might, yeah, it's probably what it is. But back to your question, if you're not looking to get like into a super crazy long story, there are a lot of standalones that aren't necessarily required to know everything from the first parts. Things like Wing Gundam, G Fighter, Gundam G Fighter. There's stories that take place in that same universe, but aren't necessarily, and like during like events that happen. Or I shouldn't say events that happen, but like take place during that same time frame, but aren't tied necessarily to like the main stuff. So like
standalone.
Yeah, standalone in a sense. So like the 8th MS team is always a good one. Gundam Leopard, Gundam Barbatos third form.
Nice.
There's also some of the newer sets too, Rictius, that have come out that aren't necessarily tied together, like Iron Blood Orphans. I believe the Witch from Mercury is kind of its own thing too. So there are some standalone ones. You don't have to. 01 Gundam. Like if you want, like there's Psycho Gundam MA mode. There's like Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny. Those two you kind of watch one after the other.
Okay.
Buster Gundam. So yeah, there's enough variety out there that if you don't want to watch like a super long story from start to end, there's enough like standalones or like 2-season type stuff.
Okay.
Sisterly Care. Our first rare in this one is Gundam Age 1 Spallow. And our second, is another LR, the Psycho Gundam.
Are the LRs fixed rate in booster boxes?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
I don't think there's like a level of like, hey, if you buy a booster box, you're guaranteed an LR or something. Mostly just because, we just had 2 back-to-back.
That's pretty sweet.
I mean, you probably increase your chances a lot because you figure there's what, 24 packs in a booster box in this case, and there's 130 cards. So from and 13 different resource types. So
okay,
you got a pretty good spread. I'm sure it's not always a guarantee. I'm also not sure if that 130 counts like the variants.
Okay.
So there's like the LR plus and the LR plus plus. There's like R's and R plus. There's some uncommon and uncommon plus. And if people are wondering about that, if they're not familiar, up here in the top right, if it zooms in, if it focuses, so there's the card number in the center.
Yep.
And then the common or the rarities there. So C is of course common, U is uncommon, R is rare, LR's legendary, I believe is the term that they use.
Okay.
So 01, and I'll show you when we get another one up here.
I'm like used to looking at them a little bit from having to price them out, but or
yeah. Gun Cannon from the GQ universe. White Gundam, which is also from the GQ. Marasai. Gundam of Ferract, which had a pretty cool art in the last set. The one was like pretty much like all black. Calamity Gundam.
That's foreboding.
Daughters Flipping.
Nice.
And then you can see it here once it focuses. There's the new.
Yeah, I got you.
Sala's Lake type gun cannon. The Biarlant. I can never pronounce some of these Gundam names sometimes. And our second rare is Tall Geese. Ooh. That is from Gundam Wing. And our resource is just a common Gundam Barbatos first flight. First form. It's kind of interesting that they decided to add like different levels of like rarity of resource cards too.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know if it's... I guess other sets like Magic has done that, and I guess Pokemon's done it in the past where you've had like foil versions of energy cards, and Magic has the like
full art or whatever,
or the ones that come with like special things. So like I remember the one that sticks out the most in my head is like Spider-Man, where it was like the symbol for Magic was done for whatever color land it was done the spider web.
Right.
But I don't know if there's like, I don't think there's any difference in like rarity on those, or maybe there is. All right, we are on to our 6th pack here. Core booster. There we go. Gundam Age 1 normal. Dazel Galette. And again, some of these shows these are characters from I haven't watched yet, so I'm probably mispronouncing a couple names. And I apologize in advance. The Slefnir. Undying Persistence. Ulba Frost. Yakuri. That one looks a lot stronger. Turning Point of History again. Valid coin. And I've noticed with our first rare, I'll get through this first, is Red Gundam, which looks like it's from GQ based on the design. And our second rare is the Godan. And then our resource is the Quibbulate from Zeta. I will say the one thing about it is, sometimes I've noticed it with Bandai's Union Arena, which I just recently, I know you were there for it. We recently kind of bought a booster box out to try and check out. We'll have that up down the road. We just wanted to kind of take a look at it and see if it was something we'd be interested in from a collection standpoint. And that one had the issue where it's a smaller card set, so there's a lot of duplication and a lot of the same cards. So it's like you get a point, and you'll see it when we release packs and whatnot, where you just open a pack and you're just like, I've just opened this pack, and the only difference is this rare card at the back. All right, we got Rider Gundam MA mode. White Wolf. Which looks very similar to, reminds me of, I can't remember the character's name from Turn A Gundam.
From what?
Turn A Gundam.
Oh.
I cannot remember what the main character's name is to save my life right now. Daughters. Taurus. Abdul's Megamac. Aspiring Pilot. Shagia Frost. The Mobius Peacemaker team. Gundam Airmaster.
Love that art.
Yeah, the art's always good. Valedictorian. Our first rare is the Argama. And our second rare is Karta's Gray's Ritter, ground type. And then our resource is just the Red Gundam. I will say the one thing I like about Bandai cards, though, the cards that are the stock the Bandai uses, is the card stock is so much higher quality.
Well, yeah.
In comparison to Magic and Pokemon, it amazes me how good the quality of the card stock is, but yet the price for the sets are sometimes half of what Gundam or half of what Magic and Pokemon are. But I know a lot of that has to do with scalpers and people who are just buying up the stock for the sake of buying up the stock, and they're not actually playing the games or collecting. There you go. Gray's Ritter, ground type. Galeo Bowdoin. Chelly Bull from GQ.
Yeah.
Hammerhead. Gundam Age 1 normal. The GQX. How do you guys pronounce that? I just say GQX, but I get the feeling there's another way to pronounce that. The Yakuri. Gundam Age 1 Titus. Gundam Heavy Arms, nice old Wing Gundam card again. Okay, Gundam Leopard. Our first rare is Momentary Respite. And our second rare in the back here is Camille Badon. So Camille is from Zeta. I can't remember if he, no, I don't think he followed through into Double Zeta. I mean, he's in Double Zeta, but it's a different character. And then Gundam Kamaris was the source. That's right. I remember now. The only character that stays the same that appears in all three is Char, who plays like a main point. He just goes by a different name in Zeta, in Double Zeta. Like Armoro, who's the main character from one, does make like appearance at some point in Zeta, in Double Zeta. The same thing with Camille. He does make like appearance in Double Zeta. I know there's a couple movies coming out that are based around the character from Gundam, from the original Gundam. For Hathaway is the character's name. So I think the first one's already out, and the second one is coming out later this year. Right. The other Gun Cannon GQ. Delta Plus Wave Rider mode.
I like that.
Moir's Determination. I feel like some of the cards, their like artwork is like they lower the text down so they can show more of the artwork.
It is pretty nice.
Because like, I mean, you just look at that card in comparison, and you can just see the difference.
Right.
On like how much they drop the text bubble down. And this one doesn't have any text.
Right.
Other than the name of the unit, so. But Kikeroga MA mode, GQ. I am assuming MA stands for mobile armor mode. Because mobile armors are a thing, like Big Zing.
I think that's a solid assumption.
Hyzak. Beneath the Mask. This, I believe, is from Gundam Wing, and this is... I'm going to hate myself for not remembering his name. It's not Zex Marquis, that's the other guy. Peace Crab. I know he's one of the Peace Crabs. He's like the other character, like one of the female characters' brother, and I cannot remember what his name is to save my life, and it's going to annoy me. Its name is Ryoseigo Raider Gundam. Eins Schwalskreis. I'm sorry once again, my German is not that good. So I am probably pronouncing that terribly wrong. Ryoseigo Gray's Custom 2. Oh, that was a rare. I didn't even see that foil on the foil. I feel like the foils are not as prominent on these in this set.
Gotta make your work for it.
And then LR, speaking of those, our Zeta Gundam. From Zeta Gundam, obviously. Nice little texture foil on that. And our resource is the Psycho Gundam. To pack 10. In about the halfway point here. Let's do it 4 packs. Yes. So focus picking. We've got the Zaku 3 sleeves. I almost read that as 2, but that is a 3. Barzan. A lot of these older Gundams are... Familial Devotion is giving me a lot of flashbacks to playing Dynasty Warrior Gundam, which was always fun. Diva. Core Booster. Gundam Airmaster Fighter Mode. Quattro Vagina. Spoiler alert, that's Char Aznavour.
I see.
But he changes his name to Quattro in Zeta, so he can do things without being hunted.
Yes.
Gundam Age 1 Titus. I think it's just so he could, like, he didn't want to be hunted down and, like, sought after because of who he was. Plus, I think, if I remember right, they were under the impression he was dead at the time. Gapflea. Like I said, it's been a hot minute, so I'm probably remembering that wrong. Dominion. Our first rare is Sodine. And we have another LR. Gundam Epion. Nice. It is not the plus variant, but I will take it. It is definitely one of the cards I am looking forward to.
I love it.
And then our EX base. Took a trip down to Chicago earlier this month and went to the Gundam base store that they opened up down in Chicago for the first ever stateside official Gun Plus store. So you get some model kits, and they had obviously they had boosters in that there too. So guys, you got a nice little promo card from going. I don't have it on me, otherwise I'd show you guys, but
Gotta love promo cards.
All right. Got ourselves a Decel Duet. Shuji's Hideout. White Gundam. Genoace. Gaza C. Gundam Age 1 Titus. Lalasune. That one looks a lot stronger. Gapflea. Jared Messa from Zeta.
That hairdo is something.
I mean, it came out like in the 80s, so. Haman Karn's Gaza C is our first rare. And our second rare is Sugai's Gilgog from GQ. I read Gilgog, and just to prove I haven't seen GQ, that is not what the Gilgogs look like in the original Mobile Suit Gundam. And Gundam X is our resource. All right, this should be pack 12, which is about our halfway point. Is there off on yeah, 24 packs, so about halfway. Had quite a few LRs, so. All right, we got ourselves a Gafrang. Murosai. Delta Plus Wave Rider mode. Genoace. Methus. Police Zaku Armored RRU type. Genoace Custom. Another Gundam Heavy Arms. Jared Mesa again. Psycho Gundam MA mode. Our first rare is Awakened Power. Our second rare is Gundam Mark II from the AEG. And then our resource is Gundam Age 1 Normal. So I know some people are probably asking why I'm putting them back kind of in the packaging. That's because I am not filming at my place, and I forgot to bring stuff along to sleeve and keep everything. So I will. That's why I'm putting them back in, so I don't lose them, scratch them, all the fun stuff. All right, we got our hammerhead. Let me make sure that focuses first. My bad. Hammerhead. Isaac. Alexandria. Galeos. I'm not gonna pronounce it again.
Big Rousey.
Oh, it's Grays at the end. I'm trying to like Schwartz. Like, it's German. I know it's German. I just don't know if it's Schwab. Like, there's missing like the umlauts or whatever they're supposed to be over there, because I know that is not Schwalbe. If it is Schwalbe, that's weird, and I'm sorry that I thought this was German the entire time. Lauda's Delanza. Taurus. Sala's light type gun cannon. Lala Suna again. Amida's Chakran. Gundam Airmaster. Our first rare is Haman Karn from Zeta and Double Zeta. Our second rare is Age Device. And we have first time I've actually come across one.
That's pretty sweet.
So we have a C+ for our resource. Nice little foil variant of a resource.
That is pretty awesome.
Is that the kind of resource you play in the game where you're just like, I like all the shiny cards regardless of whether they help me or not?
Hey, it's called aesthetic theme.
Aesthetic theme with, if I play this card, it might blind you by the light, and then I can be shifty with my cards. I miss being able to go to actual events and play games.
I get that.
Last time I was able to do that would have been back when, oh, this is going to age myself if I say this, but back when Toys R Us was a thing. And if you're listening to this and you don't know what Toys R Us is, you're too young. Toys R Us was a store that was, just as the name says, toys. Toys. There was some stuff in there, though, for like infants and things like that, like car seats and strollers and stuff like that, but it was mostly just action figures, Legos, toy sets, video games, bikes, power wheels, ride-ons, things like that. But they were the first to partner with, one of the few big stores to partner with at the time, with Wizard of the Coast, when Wizard of the Coast still did Pokemon, before Pokemon went ahead and started producing their own cards. So like base set, fossil, things like that. But yeah, that'd have been probably the first time I started playing. Went to those events. Pretty cool little things. You can play games and get points as you played and won. And then after you reached a certain number of points every so often, you would get a pin that was based around one of the badges from the games. So, and then from there, I went and started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And would go to one of the local venues in the area. Play that until I turned 18, had to work, and came up to the realization that if I wanted money, I had to work what hours they had available, and unfortunately that meant that I could no longer go to these events.
Kid was incorrect about one fact, though. You're never too young to be a Toys R Us kid. Just so you know, kids out there.
You are, because Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore.
It always live in our hearts.
Our first rare is a Zetas, and we have another LR. It is the Elmet, which was piloted by Lala Soon in the original Gundam.
Very nice.
And we have a token this time around in the Daughters. I'm just saying, in general, not too many people know what Toys R Us is. Not to say that there aren't kids out there that are young that might know what Toys R Us are because of their parents. But in general, Toys R Us.
Grown up, Kay. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh, we don't need to start the jingle there. Start calling you Jeffrey. Jeffrey the giraffe. Focus up. All right. Zaku 3. Gray's Rita. Noir's Determination. Gaza Seed. Bakuto. Gundam Leopard. Persistent and Fortuitous. Another Gundam Leopard. Gundam Ashteron MA mode. Buster Gundam. Our first rare is Garad Ran and Tifa Adil. Garad Ran might be from Double Zeta. No. Yes. I think that's the character from Double Zeta. Dude, it has been so long since I have played anything with Gundam Zeta or watched Gundam Zeta that I am drawing a blank on a lot of stuff. Gundam X is our second rare. And our resource is a Zeta Gundam. All I remember is the line, like, I try to watch stuff subbed and not dubbed, because sometimes, like, the dub from the time that those series came out, not the greatest. And I was reminded of this when I was playing Dynasty Warriors Gundam, and I was playing Camille and piloting the Zeta Gundam. And I came across, was doing story mode, and there was a line, I forgot what brought it on, but this line sticks in my head, and that is just the voice actor for Camille in probably the most, like, shrill voice that they could muster, just yelling out, "Camille's a man's name and I'm a man."
That's pretty brutal.
The worst part about it is, like, the translation, I don't think that was, like, accurate, if I remember right. So it was just like, why that was a choice of a phrase to go with. Alexandria Sleipner, Janice Custom, Methus, Bakuto, Gundam Ashtaron MA mode, Frieden, Laughter Franklin, Rick Diaz Red. Our first rare is a new sign. And we have a R plus, the age device. So that is our first R plus for the set. Nice little texture foil on that as well. And then an EX resource. I mean, to be fair, sub dubbed anime has not always had the most the best one-to-one translation. All you have to do is look at, like, Naruto. Naruto's little phrase that he used to say a lot, which in Japanese, which is "datebayo," doesn't have an actual, like, translation. There's, like, not a legit translation for it. So in America, they were like, well, how do we fix that? So they just made it so every time he would normally say, like, "datebayo," they made him say "believe it." And needless to say, if you're watching it dubbed and hearing a character consistently and frequently say "believe it" gets very annoying very fast.
Oh, that would grind my gears for sure.
And at least with Datebayo, you know, since if you're not super familiar with Japanese, like it just kind of blends into the sentence and you don't think anything about it. Like Gundam, Marase, Grey's Ritter, Yuleo Baudini, Quattro Vagina, Genoese Custom again, Persistence and Opportuneness, Daughter's Command. Our first rare weapon again is Haman Karn. And we have another R plus Gemini.
Very nice.
Argama this time around.
Going hard to paint.
Yeah. And then we have our Daughter's Token again. Need to skip what we got left on so we kind of see where we're at. Down to our last 7 packs. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. If you prefer long format videos like this, or if you would rather have us do shorts, stuff like that. I'm fine with recording either or, and so is Gene. Shorts are easier for us though, especially if there's times like over the holiday season where we weren't available to meet up.
But if you have a preference, we're willing to work with you.
Oh yeah. Delta plus Wave Rider mode. Gundam Ferret. Calamity Gundam. Daughter's Weapon. Sala's Light Type Gun Cannon. Our first rare is the Age Device. Second time getting that one. And Red Gundam also second time getting that. And our resource is Gundam X. Starting to get some duplicates on the rares. Trying to remember with the new type stuff with the how many duplicate rares I ran into. Can't remember.
Wasn't too bad, but it was a little bit. Wasn't as bad as we talked about Union Arena earlier.
Yeah.
Kaiju number 8 kind of lots of overlapping packs.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of that has to do with like I think it's like what an 80 card set minus.
Oh, I get that. I mean, yeah. It's a lot. It's sort of the same thing they saw with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't try and do what they did with Spider-Man and like add a bunch of just the same card with different art types to be like, yep, there's more cards.
Thanks, Hasbro.
And yet we're still paying them money to buy stuff. Surprised I haven't seen a lot of like. I'm hoping the next set comes with more G Gundam, but I feel like they're focusing more around the like Mobile Suit Gundam original series and stuff that's kind of based around it. All right, our first rare is Guaran, and we have another. We have an LR. This one is Gundam Barbados First Form. That is some nice artwork.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Sometimes I feel like the LR, just the base level artwork, is so much nicer than some of the other forms. Like Gundam Wing, like is another one. Like I don't know if you saw that in the clip from when we did the short, or when I was doing the shorts, and compare it to like the LR Plus version that I have. as on the screen at the beginning. Like, it is just the artwork, I feel like, on the LR version is just, it's so much nicer.
I noticed that too, and I just wasn't sure if there's a reason, but like, to me, any reason to have multiple artwork is cool.
Well, I think it depends too on like what you're going for. Like, I can understand with like some of the LR plus pluses where they have like a more like rainbow color to like indicate the higher rarity, but
Well, it's like, I don't know how you felt about it, but to me, the jump to light speed prestige, like the prestiges, really went well with the vehicle theme.
yeah. But then again, that was the thing too, where it was like they had like the main variant, and then the like the prestige variant.
Yeah, that's fair. Good point. Good point.
So you only had two artworks, whereas like some of these LRs that have like the plus plus variant, they also have a plus variant. So that's like three different artworks for.
And Miss Weird, going with that. Okay.
Yeah. First rare is Zedas, and our second rare is a Bjarlant. You know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to pronounce it.
I don't know how to say it, but the art's cool.
And then Gundam Epion for our resource. Like, I'm not against it. Like, I appreciate like, you know, being able to differentiate between like rarities a lot easier by being like, oh, this one is clearly a different rarity because of the artwork, in comparison to something like Yu-Gi-Oh, where like the card itself doesn't change. It's just like what is foil and not foil changes.
Okay.
So it's like you might have like a version of like a Yu-Gi-Oh card where the text at the top is like a gold finish foil, or the picture is foil, or the picture is foil and the lettering is also gold, or there's like sparkly foil, and it's just like it just got really, really, really weird, hard to follow.
I get that.
Barzam, Galeo Bowdoon, Gao Zhao, Gundam Age 1 Titus, Comrades Come First, Daughters Command, Beneath the Mask, Frieden, Heart Set on Revenge. Our first rare is Decisive Last Resort, which looks like that is X Gundam, or Gundam X. And an LR, Gundam Versago. Man, I think that is like the 7th or 8th LR I pulled.
It's beautiful.
And then our EX resource. I do appreciate the texture foil on like the LRs. It does help them, besides just the artwork, having the texture foil just helps them stand out a lot better. Okay, there's Scorpions. There we go. All right, Gundam Barbados third form. White Wolf. Familial Devotion. Chilia Bull. GQ. Kikuroge MA mode. Orgakrat and Shanai. Gundam Ferret. Its name is Ryusei Go. Laughter Franklin. Sisterly Care. Our first rare is Dramatic Turnabout, which I don't think we've seen yet. And our second rare is Flit Asuna, which I know we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that's definitely a unique one.
Looks like it is from X Gundam, I remember right. I have not, I will honest, I have not watched X Gundam, so I'm not familiar with who is from and who is not. And our resource is Equibly. All right, our penultimate pack. We got ourselves Nemo, Rick Diaz, Daughters, Diva, Hammerhead, Isaac, Calamity Gundam, Raider Gundam, Rick Diaz Red, Shagia Frost. Bang. Our first rare is GX's, which I'm also pretty sure is Mimi. Our second rare is the Hayaku Shiki. Nice. That is piloted by Quattro, aka Sharp, and Zeta and Double Zeta. And our resource is Gundam Barbados first one.
Ace.
All right, one pack left to go. Let's see if we can get some last pack magic. Then for our last pack, I think we'll get those LR++ in there.
We'll find out.
It's fighting me. It's a good sign, right?
Generally, yes.
Thank. With that focus, there we go. All right. Alexandru, Galeos Schultz, Grace. I am so sorry if I mispronounce that every time I've seen it. Laudas Delanza, Taurus, Core Booster, Gundam Age 1 and Normal, Daughters Weapon, Heinz Schultz Reyes, the Jin Long Range Reconnaissance type, Mobius Peacemaker team. Our first rare is for Murasame from Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam original. She, Zeta Gundam. She piloted the Psycho Gundam. And our last card is, it is an LR. It's not an LR++, but I'll tell you it. It is the GQX Omega Psycom. 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 I'm just going to say Psycom. I'm not sure if that is pronounced. Which is a very nice looking card. I know the plus variant is one of the chases, but that's still a nice card. And our resource is Gundam Kimaras. So, well, that is it for the Dual Impact box.
LaForge, I hope that you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah. Thanks for the comment. And if you want to see us open another Dual Impact, or if you want to see us do some more some new type, let us know. I'm more than happy to track down some more boxes, or another box, I should say, not more. I'm still trying to complete the sets, obviously, so I will not shy away from having to pick up some more. But if anybody else watching this has anything they'd like us to do a full pack opening on, or just see some shorts of, let us know. We have a couple local game stores. Some of them are definitely more geared towards like Magic, but a couple of them have some variety that we can definitely get some access to, or order up some other sets. So, with that being said, happy ripping.
And may the polls be with you.